two sets, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always...
It's not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics.
Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Honorable Churchill Wali, and political analyst. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning,
God bless you too. And I also have with me Ugochukwu Oputa, a political analyst. Good morning, Mr. Ugochukwu.
Good morning, Laurentia. Good morning, Nigerians. Glad to be with you.
All right. And on to the story. The crisis rocking Rivers State is yet to abate as the State House of Assembly passed the Rivers State Local Amendment Bill into law by overriding the absence of Governor Similaye Fubara. Speaker Right Honorable Martin Amehule-led House made the decision at its 159th legislative sitting held at the Assembly quarters in Port Harcourt on Monday. This development in a statement issued in Port Harcourt on Monday by the media aide to the Speaker, Martins Wachuku, and sent to newsmen. Recall that on 13th of March 2024, the House passed the Local Government Amendment Bill and forwarded same to Governor Similaye Fubara for assent, which the governor declined. According to the statement, determined to perform its constitutional duties, the bill was represented by the Majority Leader, Honorable Major Jack, and debated upon by members. Therefore, the House, in accordance with the provisions of Section 100, subsection 5 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as altered, which empowers the House to override the governor where he withholds his assent. The Speaker, Martin Amehule, put the question, and with a two-thirds majority votes, the House agreed to override the governor and passed the bill into law. Let me start with you, Mr. Ugochukwu. What do you think of this move by the State House of Assembly?
First off, I've been very vocal and clear about my opinions about the Assembly. The Assembly, regrettably, a more reflective of the position of the people. Rivers State House of Assembly has membership cut across the 23 areas of the state, and they're expected to reflect the tone of the people, even more than the executive. But what we've seen here over time is the Assembly seems to be in a self-serving pursuit. I can tell you this local government amendment bill that has been overridden, that the assent of the governor have been overridden, was first amended. The local government law number 5 was first amended by this same assembly. They amended it this year, and in a space of a month or two, they went to re-amend it again. You also have other bills that they've overridden the governor's assent, that of the Traditional Rulers Act, all in a bid to ensure that the governor is, incapacitated of taking actions as regards the leadership of the traditional rulers. Or the other bill is that of the property use of property law that they passed. This same assembly, where the speaker was the majority leader of the 9th assembly, passed that law during the election period in a way of making the opposition making it difficult for opposition to find property. Remember when there are stories of you have to pay 20 million and they have to vet it and all, you know. And then that of the what do you call it, the local government, that of the local government, one thing is in common. It is self-serving. Self-serving. This Rivers State House of Assembly, that most of them were members of the previous assembly, were the only was the only state in Niger Delta and South that voted against local government autonomy when the constitutional amendment was going on under President Buhari. And all of a sudden, because of it doesn't suit their political calculation or political interest, they are now in this pursuit. It might interest you to know that on the 27th of October, 4 laws were sent to this assembly, 4 bills were sent to this assembly. Bills that include issue of estate management, power development, youth empowerment, 4 bills that were people-oriented, sent from the River State governor to the assembly. Let's assume that crises have happened and now they are there, assumably that they are there on a legitimate. This same issue of the local government bill, that the amendment bill, was taken to court, and a high court judge, Justice I.C. Igwe, gave an injunction restraining the assembly on Monday last week from going further with this, and also adjourned to yesterday, Monday. If the assembly is claiming that on the ideas of separation of power, that they have a responsibility to counterweight the actions of the executive, how about the judiciary? They have just gone in glare and disregard of the judiciary. So my point here is that if governance is the intent of the assembly, just ask you a question. Legislative all around the world, when they want to take bills and pass into law issues that concerns the public, they do things like public hearing, because the people have to be factored in. But in all these bills that have been passed, some of them, they read it today, it goes to first reading, second reading today, the next day they passed it, and they start counting about 3 weeks for the governor's assent. And you know, it acts like it's just like magic. And I can authoritatively say that these stuff are half-baked. Because if it was not half-baked, why would you amend the local government law just less than 3 months, and you're recalling it again for another amendment? What did you forget? It shows that you are not doing thorough jobs. And what we're seeing here would rebound in future, because their actions are being propagated by political undertones and self-serving. And in future, the indices and factors might change, and you see them having to repeal laws, like they've done to repeal that of the public use law, public property use law, and all that. So it is sad. And it's to me, it's one of the saddest part of the quagmire that have happened in River State. That the River State House of Assembly have been factored in such a way that it's the back and forth is no longer disgraceful. I can tell you that before now, in the next 3 months, you can see them also amending some of the other laws they've passed by themselves without any pressure. It is sad, and the people of River State are seeing it. If they feel their position is that of the reflects that of the general public, let them call for public hearing. Let people give their opinion on their positions. What is there? You are saying that local government autonomy. Also remember that you cannot, in all your dealings and in all the law you cannot localize a law that is alien to our constitution. As far as Nigeria is concerned, the law local government autonomy was not passed, and River State House of Assembly, we are part of the 6 states that voted against it. And now you want to localize a law that is sort of alien to our constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. No, it doesn't add up. I know that all these things would amount to academic exercise, because it is in court. The House of Assembly have violated a court order restraining their actions till it's been heard, till the suit has been heard, and also their position of legality of them actually being honorable members of the House. So I'll yield the mic here. Thank you.
All right. Let me have your take before I get back to you. I want to hear Honorable Churchill's position on this matter.
First of all, I want to thank you for bringing me into this particular open conversation for this particular issue.
Okay.
I was a councillor of a local government, and I understand that the tools which the Legislative Assembly uses is starting from the Constitution, the state law, if required, and the legislative book that is called the handbook. And the most important is the Constitution, because anything you do outside the Constitution will bounce back to you as a legislator. And I know too well that this kind of issue would have happened in Borno State, but because the Borno Legislative Assembly and the governor came in cordial agreement and agreed that yes, that whatsoever thing that they would do should be like father and child. In this particular issue now, it is a clear sense that what was followed was the Constitution, following chapter 5, section 100, article 5, that stipulates that if a governor refuses, that is, refuses to assent to a bill sent to him, that the House of Assembly will bring back the bill, represent it in the House, and the two-third majority, only two-third majority, will approve the bill. And with the vote of two-third majority, the bill will be approved, and it will turn to law. It is a legislative business. It has a process. The process is that it has to be passed first on a normal sitting, and after being passed, it will be sent to the governor for assent. After 31 days, 1 month interval, and the governor did not assent, then it will be represented in the House. We should talk about this matter based on the law that is guiding this particular bill. The processes, if it was actually followed. But in this sense, I looked at it critically. I asked questions. I called my own House of Assembly member. I said, this matter is a serious matter. He narrated it accurately to me, Honorable Prince Lemchinyeche, and told me that this particular matter, this particular bill, was passed and sent to the governor through the normal process, and the governor refused to assent. If, like what I said here last time, if the governor does not want to assent any bill, the governor has a right to call his assembly member. I said it clear that this is a business of father and son. It's a business of father and son. A legislative cannot do without the executive cannot do without the legislative. It is very clear. And the third party in this particular matter is the judiciary outside these two. It is when a bill has been passed and assented, or passed in this process, it will be sent to judiciary to record it. You understand? And this process is very, very critical. As it stands now, I'm not even happy that Rivers State is having this kind of issue. Because I checked in the processes whether this kind of thing has happened in any of the states. It hasn't. But it's a process. It's something that is there in the Constitution. And it has to be followed amicably. So what is there now is that it's a law. It has been passed as a law. And it has to be followed.
All right.
Because it followed the normal process.
All right. Now, Mr. Ugochukwu, when you were speaking earlier, you talked about you questioned the Rivers State House of Assembly locus to pass this law into bill with regards to the local government. Yeah. Now, in the 1999 Constitution, Section 7, Subsection 1, Establishment of Local Governments, Section 7, Subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees the establishment of democratically elected local governments. Their establishment, structure, composition, finance, and functions are to be promulgated upon by the state houses of assembly. So, going by this section and subsection, invariably means that the House of Assembly can actually promulgate a law with respect to the functions, to the establishments, to the finances of the local governments. What do you make of that?
Yes, I enjoyed what the Honorable here spoke about. Judging from the process, yes, there's a process. The Assembly have some level of authority in the, the core ideology of separation of power. But first of all, you should know that what is it that the Assembly seek to achieve? The Assembly modified a clause that if the state electoral body is unable to conduct an election upon the expiration of an elected executive in local government, that they can extend their tenure for a period of 6 months, pending when an election is possible. Now, given this concept of separation of powers, the Assembly is within their power to come up with laws they deem fit. But it does not handicap the executive to accept it entirely. And as such, the executive is empowered in that same ideology and concept of the separation of powers to approach the judiciary. It is not the first time that the executive have challenged laws of the country or of the state. Even the former governor of Rivers State took the federal government to court as regards the issue of VAT. So it is within the right of the people to take the Assembly to court. If they are taking a law that they feel, contravenes our constitution or contravenes the general concept of separation of powers, it is within their right. 3 local government chairmen, the local government chairman of Boni, and the local government chairman of Upopo, I think about 2 of them, or one took the Assembly to court. Countering that clause, that ability, the power they have to extend the tenure of an elected local government chairman for 6 months. I'm not saying that the Assembly is wrong. I'm not saying that the executive is right. But on the basis of separation of powers at which this Assembly is basing their action, it's also ideal that if a matter has been taken to court, you allow the judiciary to interpret it. This Assembly was duly served. The injunction was given. Now wait until the determinant of this case. The case came up yesterday.
Mr. Ugochukwu, if I may ask, has there been cases in court that outlasted the tenure of the matter in court? For example, let's say there is an electoral matter and it goes to court. And while that case is in court, the case will remain in court for 4 years. The tenure for which the matter went to court will elapse. And the matter is still ongoing.
I'm not a lawyer, but something came to my mind. I remembered when the former governor, the immediate past governor of Rivers State, took over in 2015. And the outgoing governor then, former Governor Rotimi Amechi, conducted the local government election. And I remember that the former governor Wike took that action. There was a legal action against their intention to conduct such elections. And when Governor Wike came in to power, he suspended those assembly members, those local government that was elected, because there was a legal action, and he got judgment in court, and that went on. Why their tenure was even elapsing, and at the point when they were still pursuing the case until that 3 years elapsed. I remember.
So the case was on until
I remember trolling. I remember when there was that even whatever it is you are pursuing, the case have even elapsed.
So now, based on what you have said, is there also a slight possibility or probability that these 3 local government chairmen who have gone to court to challenge the actions of the Rivers State House of Assembly, is it possible that this matter will still be in court until 2027?
Yeah,
is there a probability? Now, isn't it a way of handicapping the Rivers State House of Assembly from actually doing, because what they did, you cannot argue that it doesn't fall under their ambit.
But you cannot circumvent the Constitution. Yes, they say judiciary
What
is the
part
last.
of Constitution
What I'm saying is
did they
now.
circumvent?
What I'm saying is, you cannot say because the wheels of justice grind slowly, and as such you want to bypass it. No. These actions. Remember the
Now,
case of.
Do you also remember there is a provision in the Constitution that empowers the House of Assembly to actually override the governor and actually pass
Yes,
it?
it's okay.
So if there is a constitutional provision empowering them to do that, why would the judiciary tell them to stay?
No,
Okay.
the judiciary is not coming in challenging that their powers to override. Remember,
They are
this is
telling them to
this
hold
is
on
not
until
yes. Remember this.
pending
Yes.
decision of the court.
Remember, this is not the first bill that they've overridden the assent of the governor. They've done that for about 4. Even this local government amendment bill, the first time they passed, they overrid the governor's consent. No issues.
The question is,
now
why
the reason why
why isn't the governor reaching out to the legislature?
that is a totally different aspect.
Now,
the
clear disconnect.
listen, the issue, you asked me why the judiciary is intervening when the legislature have
Yes.
yeah, you know, and I'm telling you that the judicial intervention is not as regards the empowered the constitutional clause there empowering the assembly to override. No, it's as regards the law they are about to pass. It has to be determined if that law contravenes our constitution or the morality backing our constitution. That is it. And it's, if you're doubting that, you can say the assembly.
Doesn't the House of Assembly, don't they have the powers to repeal any law? Do they have the powers to do
They have to, yes.
So why would the judiciary tell them not to repeal a law?
No. It's not
Is
repealing.
it the job of the judiciary to act upon the law that has been passed by the House of Assembly?
You're mixing that. You're mixing that. Now,
yes.
if you say the assembly have all powers unchecked, it's now a totalitarian government.
I didn't say all
now,
powers.
so yes.
We're looking at the powers of administration of the State House of Assembly.
The assembly.
The power to repeal and to make laws.
Yes, they can. If they want to make a law, for example, that goes against the binding law as a nation, it is within the power of any citizen to challenge that in the judiciary.
So now, when it comes to time-sensitive matters, what stops the will of the judiciary from grinding fast?
It can, and that is why the injunction was given last Monday, and the hearing was given today, and yesterday on Monday. So rather than the assembly to make appearance for the case, at least, they did not come, they didn't show up. So in certain sensitive matters, just like special tribunals done for electoral matters, where it has to conclude within 90 days, the judiciary know the sensitivity of such issue and act within the time frame. It's not the first time. So all I'm saying is, you cannot say...
Did the court ask them to stay execution?
Yes, on Monday by Justice IJC Igwe in a high court. So all I'm saying is, just the way the executive cannot exercise powers unchecked, the same way the assembly cannot exercise powers unchecked. And the same way, you can take it to the judiciary.
Now, you would wonder, for me, the question that I'm thinking about right now, I'll come to you. Let's just imagine for a minute. I'm thinking right now, I want to think like a politician.
Yeah.
Right. I want to think like the 3 local governments chairmen that went to court challenging this. Why would they have to wait until close to 31 days? Why would they have to wait till that window elapsed? Why didn't they go to court the moment the governor refused to assent the bill? The moment they saw from the body language that the governor may not, or the moment that they amended that particular bill and they were not comfortable with it, why didn't they go to court immediately? Because probably knowing how the judicial process is in Nigeria, you know, the River State House of Assembly cannot expedite action until that time, until that window. That's the thing. Because I'm thinking as a politician right now, I have to wear the shoe of a politician for 1 minute. Like, why didn't they act faster?
And what if I tell you that within that time frame, they were exploring other options? They could have been maybe reaching out to the assembly members and all that, and finding out that these people are hell-bent on going ahead. They did that a week ago.
Okay, let me come to that.
Honorable Churchill.
Let me come to that. You see, this bill was passed on 13th of March. And the day he is talking about is more than even 17th. That they went to, the court gave the verdict on injunction. Now, the 31 days elapses on 14th. And every other thing that is outside that 31 days is a matter after death. You understand? So what I am saying is that, like what she said, if there is an issue that would have been tackled, at that first time when this bill was sent, it is the right of the governor. Let me put it clear, that the governor is the father of the state among the legislative and the executive. He has the right to invite the legislative to his office and have a meeting with them. He has the right to discuss this particular bill with them. But he is now doing it at the time the water has crossed the Nile.
What do you mean by the water has crossed?
Yes, because the time frame, the 31 days, has elapsed already. And you cannot do something at the time that, yes, the time that is supposed to be given to you has elapsed.
If I may ask you, Honorable Churchill.
Yeah.
So far, you've broken down the processes, and apparently from what you have broken down, the River State House of Assembly
followed the process.
Followed due process,
yes.
And they have the backing of the law.
Yes.
Now, you also talked about the governor being the father of the state, and he should have been able to call his sons, in quotes,
together.
Yes, you know, for a conversation and,
yes.
and possibly make peace. Now, yes. The question I want to ask you, because you
not make peace, I mean discuss the bill.
Now, I'm coming to that. I'm driving to that. The question I want to ask you is, you are a politician.
Of course, I am.
Yes. Now, from your experience in River State political ecosystem, and from the body language of the River State House of Assembly, do you see River State House of Assembly actually making peace with the governor?
Okay, let me come
now,
to that. No, that is a question.
Yes, that's one question. The second question, Mr. Ugochukwu Oputa has said that the governor has sent bills that were people-oriented to the River State House of Assembly. Now, isn't it strange that the River State House of Assembly has been able to expedite action on every other bill that has to do with leadership, has to do with politics, elections and electioneering, but not bills that has to do with the masses? And they are seated on the mandate of the people they are representing.
Okay.
Now, would you say, so far, by the actions of the River State House of Assembly, the bills they have passed into law, the bills they have amended so far, you know, that they have actually acted in the interest of the masses?
Okay, let me come to that.
Two questions.
Two questions.
Yes.
Let me come to the first questions. The body language, whether they are trying to make peace.
Whether they are willing.
Willing.
Not even trying.
Okay, willing to make peace.
Yes.
It is very clear that this executive and the judiciary, that is the assembly, was elected the same day. Governor and the House of Assembly were elected the same day. And after the election, they were declared, assembly was declared before the governor. That's to tell you that the junior was declared before the senior. So assembly was declared before the governor, and the governor was declared, the election ended. They went to court. Most of the assemblies went to court. The governor also went to court. The assembly's matters end at the appeal court, while the governor matter ends at the Supreme Court. That is the supremacy. Now, when the matters end, the assembly has been on their own, doing their work. The governor on his own, doing his work, normal to run the state complex.
Impeachment.
Demolition of the House of Assembly complex. I'm not talking about impeachment. When it was demolished,
I think impeachment came up before the demolition.
When it was demolished.
Yes.
Now, the father of the country called every party and said,
why
you
are you
have
jumping the impeachment?
Deliberately.
Okay, let
Because
me come to that. I'm not
there
talking
was
about
an-
because no, there is
you're
an
talking
act. Okay,
about
let me
the
come to
issue.
the impeachment.
No, you don't need to break it down, but you have to
Now,
acknowledge that there was an
impeachment
impeachment process. Then
and something led to the impeachment process.
We're not talking about what led.
Okay, then why are you bringing me back to talking about the
you
impeachment
are
process?
Selectively,
If I want to talk about the
Honorable
impeachment process,
Honorable Churchill, hold on. You are making selective.
I'm still on the first question.
Yes, you're still on the first question, but you carefully maneuvered the impeachment out of it.
Okay.
Now, if you're listing the issues,
That means I have to digress very well.
No.
On
I'm
the
not saying you
processes,
should digress.
what led to impeachment?
You are laying a foundation.
Okay.
If you are following the trajectory, follow the trajectory properly. Don't jump impeachment.
Now
Because it's an integral part of the issue.
Now you are bringing issue that the whole state wouldn't be happy with, because impeachment process that led to demolishing a property owned by the entire state.
Yeah, if you can mention
that will cost the state a whole. That is huge amount of money to build.
How come you not mention demolition without?
So I don't want to. Let me just put it demolition.
All right, continue.
So the father of the country called everybody together and addressed the issue, telling them to go home, choose a place where they'll be sitting and sit. By the grace of God, they have a good hall in their quarters, built by the former governor Chibarisa Wike. And they started sitting there to make it very, the assembly's complex was a very unique environment. So also their quarter is a very unique environment where there will not be much noise.
All right.
So they started sitting there. And I know too well that that particular issue that happened, that was settled by the father of the country, the replication of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the father of the country.
Go on.
So the governor has not called his assembly members, because I would have seen that they had a dinner together. The issue of calling them and sitting with them, putting things together, and even calling his predecessor and saying, okay, let's come together, let's work together. What advice you have for us, you can give to us. The fathers of the states, the former governors, what advice? It's supposed to be a conference talk, and the whole issue will end. But this issue continued lingering.
You've not answered about the body language of.
If you are telling me, I believe that legislators are not holding the peace between them and the governor, because a father has every right to call the son, and
a son can also go to the father to tell the father, I am back.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Is that out of place?
You just asked me a question. I answered you directly.
Out of place, even in our culture, for a son to, on his own volition, go to his father?
For them to come back to state and start sitting in the state, they have gone to their father. It's just for their father to impress them. But let's put it this. Let's put it this way.
Can you cite one example when they did that?
They have been sitting in the state.
House of Assembly
has been sitting in the state. They have been sitting here.
They've been sitting in the state.
In the state.
Has there been crisis in the state?
No, they've been sitting in the state.
Okay, you've been using allegories. Is it possible for a man to marry two wives and they are all living in the same roof but not in peace?
Living in the same roof.
Is that possible?
And not
Is
in
it even
peace.
possible for a man and his wife to live in the same house and not be in peace?
Of course, it's possible.
Okay, that answers the question.
Okay,
right,
but what I'm telling you is that the body language, the legislators has not shown that they don't want peace.
Okay.
Because none of the legislators has gone on air
why
to say that there will not be peace between them and the government.
All right, since you've said that, that begs the second question. That now begs the second question. Since there is no acrimony of any sort, the governor has presented people-oriented.
Well, that is where I'm coming now.
The House of Assembly.
That is where I'm coming now.
Okay.
Now, you have said it here clearly that the House of Assembly has passed overrides how many bills? About 3-4 bills. Four bills. Now, we also know that for them to override bills means that the governor have refused completely to assent to the bills passed by the
That has been
House of
established.
Assembly members.
That has been established.
Okay. Now, there has not been any formal notice on air or anywhere that the governor presented this kind of bill and the assembly. That is very clear. It has not been on air.
The governor.
You understand that the governor has presented through who?
Let me give you
because we know that the majority leader is Major Jack.
Okay.
You understand? And Major Jack is among the 27 House of Assembly members who the governor have refused to even see, talk of assenting to their bill.
If you say the governor has refused to see,
because
our bill have the Rivers State House of Assembly ever come out to tell Rivers people that the governor has refused to see us? The governor has refused to grant us audience.
The only thing.
But when you say the governor has refused to see the Rivers State House of Assembly members,
okay, you are saying that they've not come out to tell Rivers people that the governor have refused to see them, and the governor has also refused to assent to their bill.
You've not even answered that one. You're now jumping.
No, they've not. So there has not also been any information. Let me, the governor has not come up to tell Rivers people that he has presented the bill.
Let me give a quick clarification. Right. Now, the two of the most my two best bills was number one, the new city development bill that seek to discongest Port Harcourt. The second one is the Rivers State Youth Empowerment Trust Fund. Those two bills were forwarded to the Assembly on the 27th of October 2023.
True.
There is a process. There is a process between which the executive submit bill to the legislative. The governor do not need to come and present those bills. No.
He submitted 7th of
October 2023. That was prior to the anarchy or the chaos that engulfed the state on the 30th of October.
Okay.
And these four bills came before the other bills that have now been.
Okay, let me come to that clearly. Like he mentioned, two bills that came before the anarchy, came before the demolition, and we know too well that demolition. We know too well that the properties of the
impeachment. All right. So
the properties of the House of Assembly members, the properties of the House of Assembly members in their offices. It will be sent. I said there that there is process. It will be sent to the judiciary.
Did the Rivers State House of Assembly mandates? They are seated and welding powers.
They are sitting on the mandate of Rivers State.
I just said so. You're repeating my statement. Have the Rivers State House of Assembly come out to tell the Rivers people that we received so and so bill? There are vital documents that we lost as a result of. You said demolition.
No, it is. Me, I'm not saying.
You said demolition.
This is my own personal.
No, you are saying authoritatively that they. Do
you know that since that demolition, I have not been happy because I really know what the Governor Peter Dele did. You understand?
Clarification. What led to the demolition? First of all, there was an impeachment, and for some reason, the assembly was put on fire.
Okay.
And
so there was an impeachment.
There was an impeachment process.
Okay.
Now that was supposed to begin, and then we heard that the assembly
was supposed to begin.
Yes. Okay. Listen, and we heard that the assembly was engulfed in fire, which the governor and some assembly members were the first to visit the scene and condemn the dastardly act because he said politics shouldn't be that deadly. And as we speak, I heard he's been investigating that action. The assembly wrote to the Inspector General of Police to investigate it. And we're waiting the result of that investigation. The demolition that occurred was that the governor said the fire outbreak on that assembly, the Commissioner of Information did a press statement, and the fire outbreak on that assembly had affected the structural integrity of that building. It was not like the governor went there to demolish. No, the fire outbreak affected the structural integrity, and he had to pull down a certain part of the assembly to be rebuilt.
Now,
certain part?
Mr. Ugochukwu,
yeah.
So we don't deflect or we don't completely lose trajectory of the conversation. Now, I want to ask you a direct question.
Yes.
The Rivers State House of Assembly passing the local government bill into law, does it fall within their ambit? Do you disagree with that action?
If it has gone normal without any challenge from the courts, It was within the action, just like the other. It was within their right, just like the other bills they've done and assented into law. It's within their right.
All right.
The only clause there is that there was a court injunction that needed to hear the case for its merit. And regardless of that, they went ahead.
Does the law provide, the question I want to ask as a follow-up is, has the window given for the governor to assent, did it elapse?
Yes, no, it's in the Constitution.
Right?
Yes,
it's in the Constitution.
So, but
now, don't you think in this case, having waited patiently for the governor, giving the governor his due honor and respect, and accorded him all the time that his executive office has to sign that bill, the governor having refused and the widow having elapsed, and they passing it into bill, don't you think some individuals trying to use the judiciary to stop what is constitutionally right for the River State House of Assembly? When I mean right, I'm not talking about the rightness or wrongness of the law, but I mean the process and their powers. Now, don't you think these individuals are trying to use the judiciary, weaponize the judiciary, and turn them into a clog in the will of the River State House of Assembly?
No, this is where law comes in. I said if there is rapport between both of us, if I refuse assent, he comes to, we discuss and say, I don't like this. But if a rapport does not exist between both of us,
he can still do
and I refuse assent, and he chooses to override, and a rapport, the law also gives me the freedom. I don't have to like him. I can go to a third party. And that's what that's what has happened. They've gone to a third party because a rapport does not exist.
Why? The question will be, why do they have to wait to go to the third party? Why do they have to wait for that window to elapse?
Because
so he's empowered by law to do what he needs to do.
Like, let me ask you, that of now and then choose to modify. It happens that way.
You've also, PDP Governors Forum was last week.
Yeah.
The law was passed, the bill was passed into law this week. There was a window for the governor. And his fellow governors has prevailed upon him to go back home. He's the chief security officer of the state. He's the #1 man of the state. He's the flag bearer of his party.
Yes.
He says he is the party leader in River State, and under his leadership, the party has factions. And so far, from his recent statements, appears that the governor is emboldened and ready for war right now. And the PDP Governors Forum has come out after a closed-door session.
The West was arrested on the orders of Samuel Wanosike. I saw it with my own eyes.
We are talking about the governors.
Yes, so when
instance, when Papansu wanted to join the NNPP, he sent emissaries. Now, if the governor, having sensed the sensitivity, he's, as far as I'm concerned, he's a politician right now, and he will understand political moves and political.
What sensitivity? What? Is it the law?
Now you said he's unfettered.
Yes, because you know what? It doesn't. It's not like the governor. He's how would I say handicapped in the whole situation. Right. The governor have explored. And there's an avenue that is open for every citizen, and that has been explored. Right. It's not like we're perturbed. We're only saying that if the assembly is really genuine about representing the people, then no law said after 30 days they should override the governor. No, they can do that after 40 days. It's just after expiration of 30 days. Why are they so much in a hurry to do that after 30 days? If you are making reference that the governor have not, I was in the government house on the 1st of January after Mr. President resolution, resolve and all that. The governor, when I saw the government house January 1st banquet, I opened the program. Everybody was rushing to see who was on the side of the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly. And there, Martins Awehule was placed there on the government program. That was after the governor had recognized, there was a judgment that recognized Edison here. But when he signed that peace pact, it reflected almost immediately. You cannot say the governor is the one stoking the fire here. The governor still had...
If he's, well, I am not even saying the governor is
so he has...
you are aware of that.
Listen.
But we don't really have time for all of that. And I think
I just want to drop one point.
Quickly,
yes. Just, first of all, I want to take exception from what he said. Because Honorable Engineer Samuel Wanusuke is not a policeman, is not a law enforcement
I'm
agency.
saying you can quote me. I was there. I was there. You can quote me.
He's a local government.
We are not
chairman.
discussing the
so
arrest.
Please, even if such thing happened, I didn't know when it happened, and I can't say. And please don't mention his name on.
I was there. He held my shirt. I want to held my shirt and pushed it to the police. I was there.
I want to thank him for
being sensitive to my plight. I was not in Abuja.
Thank him for understanding the facts
Please.
and following up, agreeing with me that the assembly members did what they are supposed to do, and they did it not even at the time. They did it after the lapse. Maybe it elapsed on 14th. They did it 22nd.
And you still didn't answer the question when I asked you about the people-oriented bill.
So the
House of Assembly
bills.
failed to pass, and you're telling me that he crashed in their system.
No.
When
What I told you, I said if that kind of thing happened.
Gentlemen,
I said if that kind of thing happened. Because I didn't know. The governor did not tell us. No, the governor did not tell us.
There was a press release on that.
No, the governor did not tell us.
The official channel.
He should represent the bill. He should represent the bill. Because after the demolition.
Did the Rivers State House of Assembly come out to tell Rivers people that they lost certain sensitive information?
And the governor did not tell us.
Is no.
The governor did not tell us.
You also said, you also alleged that the bill itself, when you couldn't answer that, Honorable Churchill, you now also said that you now questioned the procedures, you know, that the governor took to present the bill, Honorable Churchill. I also want you to understand that
you should also understand
there is a question that I've asked you and you didn't answer. Anyway, gentlemen, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Do not go away.
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. Honourables, you human trafficker. Honourables, you order.
They are not picking our calls. So no agreement with the EU, but
Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
Condemn this act. Call for immediate release.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The Independent National Electoral Commission has unveiled the final list of candidates for the forthcoming Edo State governorship election. This is just as the Commission said that the political parties are permitted to start campaigning in public from Wednesday, 24th April 2024. The campaigns will end at midnight on Thursday, 19 September 2024. In a statement by Sam Olumeku, National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, INEC, disclosed that 17 political parties have fielded candidates for the election, out of which 16 are male, while 1 is female. Now, let me start with you, Honorable Churchill. How do you see these elections panning out? How do you see it panning out in Edo States? Do you see, oh, you talked about the wall of Gibraltar in Edo States. Now, do you see the wall of Gibraltar faction effects, or the wall of Gibraltar influence and factor coming into play?
Like I said,
now, would you say it's, second question, would you say it's as a result of the wall of Gibraltar factor, or as a result of the crisis inside PDP? Because you're a PDP man.
I would say, first of all, the wall of Gibraltar, like I do say, it is coming out to play. Edo State, before I said this time, before I said it the second time, I clearly said it. The first day I heard that the president said that the party, they are going to stand by the candidates like the wall of Gibraltar. I said that Edo State is gone for APC. And that it didn't stop there. That led to the crisis in PDP, which has led...
How did that lead to the crisis in PDP?
It led, because I'm a politician, I know too well that whatsoever thing you want, you can ignite anything from any other side. Maybe
Shuaibu already had a problem
let me tell you.
with Obaseki before that primary.
Let me tell you. Let me clearly tell you this. Shuaibu, at the end of this election, Shuaibu will defect to APC.
So you now think Shuaibu...
I said,
are you insinuating that Shuaibu may be working for PDP?
For APC.
For APC?
Under tune.
In this election?
Yes, it could be a mole. You understand? It's possible.
Because of his fallout?
Yes. So what I'm saying is that at this election now, I said it before and I will still say it again. The margin will be very, very far. The gap. And again, PDP is not even sure of their candidature in this election.
Because Shuaibu is challenging.
Yes, he's still in court. So
well, like Mr. Ugochukwu said in the previous conversation, that the wheel of justice grinds very slowly. Don't you see the judicial process still ongoing?
It doesn't stop the judicial process. It doesn't stop the justice. But the process might take time, and within the period the process will take, it might delay the electoral process. When I mean the electoral process, Somebody that is a core politician that understands what it takes to start preparation early to ensure you win election will understand that so many minds, so many persons are not prepared now as party members, fully prepared with the energy in them to fix the system the way it is.
Okay.
So I know too well that APC has prepared right from since they finished their primaries. They are still preparing. That is the reason why so many.
What do you think?
I like the fact that Honorable pointed that the Shaibu might be the how they put it, the hand of Esau.
The hand of Esau, the voice of Jacob.
You know, and but one critical part he also technically left out is that around Shaibu, a certain minister is smelling around. You know, the influence of a certain minister is around him. You know that minister that one leg is in PDP and one leg is in APC. I've not mentioned anything. Please, Honorable, don't enter there.
I don't know the minister.
Yes, so let it not be.
So you cannot answer to what you don't know about.
So, but what I'm saying is, we know before now that I've been on this program where we spoke about the issue of Edo, even when Shaibu was to be impeached, and you know. But I also agree that in politics, there are two ways to go about it. You advance your own, and you put what the Igbos call Obahara, your enemy's own. You know, you put Obahara, scatter, you know, and it slows their pace down. So I'm also aware that there's an external influence on that. Right. So I think Edo might go towards the APC, given that APC has a stronghold there prior before through Adams Oshomole. I think that was the state that the only state in South that the APC won upon their emergence as a party. You know, so that is a possibility. So sad that my own friend, the former MBA chairman.
Abata.
Yes, I don't know how he's going to, how he'll do.
The obedience in the
yeah, but I know that I know that Edo State was one of the epicenter of the whole obedient movement. You know, but I don't know how that will play out.
Obedience has
so you see how
APC right now, you know, is a favorite.
That is still the political technique called Tuwanya Hobahara.
That is Okwe.
So when a Rivers politician tell you Okwe, you know that matter don't set.
Okay. The appeal committee set up for the All Progressive Congress governorship primary in Ondo State says it has received 3 petitions from aspirants who participated in the exercise. Mohammed Abubakar, the chairman of the 5-member appeal committee, disclosed this at a briefing with journalists in Akure. Abubakar, former governor of Bauchi State, said the petitions were received from Olubenga Edema, Jimmy Odimayo, and Adewale Akinteriwa. He explained that the 3 aggrieved aspirants complained that the primary did not hold in their various wards and the process was marred by irregularities. Honorable Churchill.
It's election in this kind of, like, that is why I said that every election should be curtailed to the process of the election following the constitution. Like now they are telling you that the election did not hold in their ward. Because if they had followed that the election should be held in one particular place, this kind of issue wouldn't come up. And nobody will now say this election held or it didn't hold. So what I'm saying on my own side is that at the end, APC, I said it here clearly that APC National Working Committee would have arrested this issue before this time. It wouldn't have gone to court. So, but since they've allowed it to go to court.
Is that at the appeal committee level, the party appeal committee?
Yes, at this appeal committee now, let it not bring issues within the party system.
You see that happening?
Yes, I see that happening. And I believe that in this particular area now, my party will have gained more ground. In this particular, like I said it clearly now that if we are giving if we give them a do, we'll take undo. Right. It's the same thing. Just
there is no doing.
There is no do there. So let them take a do. Let us take undo. There is crisis in undo for them. Why there is crisis in Edo for us? So
all right.
They should take one. We'll take one. It's a good one for us.
I think.
Don't you think it's too early to rejoice?
No, it's a good one.
I think when he reminds me my party, and I say, okay, we still there. Yes. You know, he's like those PDP members that are like APC members.
Interesting.
No.
Maybe will answer for himself after
I take a gesture from that. I'm a member of PDP.
Oh, is it the...
All right.
I am a member of PDP.
Okay. The Kano State High Court, presided over by Justice Usman Naba, has on Monday reversed orders earlier affirming the suspension of the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Kofa local government area, Laminu Sani, and legal advisor Haladu Gwanjo, plaintiffs who were part of the 9-ward executive who suspended Abdullahi Ganduje a week ago, had earlier secured an order suspending Ganduje as the chairman of the party. However, in a twist of events, the presiding judge, Justice Naba, said upon reading a motion ex parte together with 27-paragraph affidavit in support and a written address.
The swamp lion Uche Secondus, it was said, and I also realized most arguments came online too prior to this neck when it was rumored that the Honorable Minister would be suspended. You know, the argument is that only the ward, you can only be suspended from your ward. And if the ward executive has suspended Ganduje, I'm not sure there's much the court can do, because this action can be challenged, because the constitution of the party is clearly spelled out that the PDP, I know that for sure, that if they meet the expected number of persons and conditions required, he is as good as suspended. So what the court might be trying to do now is maybe to save, you know, as a politician, a man in power would do everything within his power to retain that power. So he would have to go to court and all that. Whatever is in that 27 written affidavit, and you know, it's also to support the claim of Ganduje. But I feel it has all the necessary ingredients that of Uche Secondus had, and today not also that of you know, all those exactly. It has all the similar patterns, yes. You know, and today none of them are chairman of their respective parties. So it's good to say that the man that was once nicknamed Dola Babariga might be on his way out.
All right. Honorable Churchill, what do you make of this? Do not forget, this was the same judge that affirmed it. Now he came to withdraw.
Yes, because now it is very clear that what I said here the first time is what is playing. I told you that if possible, that Ganduje should go to his ward, or even meet with the president for the president to order for those guys to come.
Aren't you perturbed that the president's silence?
No,
this debacle started?
It is. I'm perturbed about it because
he's the leader of the party.
He is the leader of the party, and considering the fact that the issue we are discussing is the issue of his national chairman, it is a very serious matter. And we know too well, like I said here, that Ganduje can only be suspended by his ward school. And to thought, I've gone through the APC constitution when I left here last time. I looked at it that is the two-third majority that has the right to suspend him or even terminate his membership. So every member of a party is being registered in his ward. If you like, be the president of the Nigeria, you are registered in your ward, and it's your ward that has the list of members of the party. So the two-thirds, even more than two-thirds of his party excludes, has sat, they said 9. They have sat and suspended him. This matter going to court will put more shame to his personality.
Why do you say that?
Yes,
Shouldn't
because
he fight?
the court does not have anything
Exactly.
to do in this matter.
It's clear.
Because what is speaking in this matter is a constitution. And they have sworn their affidavits. And the affidavit is on ground.
Now, do not
so what I'm saying is that
the state working committee, the council chairman also came out to say that those guys were impostors. The first ward executives that suspended Ganduje were impostors. Then another faction now came up. There are three factions. There are three ward executive factions. Okay. The second faction came up less than 24 hours later, and they did a press release, and they said that the first faction that suspended Ganduje, they were impostors. In fact, that they were members of the NNPP, but that they are the real ESCOs, ward ESCOs, and that Ganduje stands not suspended.
That is the three factions?
No, that's the second faction.
Okay.
Now, the irony, the twist in the issue of the first faction is this. When the council chairman and the state working committee suspended the first ward schools, they came out to suspend them on the ground of anti-party activities, and now claims that they were in bed with NNPP. However, when the second faction came out to say that, no, these people are not even members of the APC, not to talk of being in bed with NNPP, that they are actually NNPP members. The state working committee recanted what they said and said, yes, that they are actually impostors. Now, the question is, why would the council chairman and the state working committee of APC suspend NNPP members?
So that's to tell you that those are
you understand? Now, after that, the third faction now came up, and the third faction is headed by Umar Ganduje's nephew. And they came out to suspend Ganduje. His nephew suspended him as well.
That is to tell you that.
So what's going on? There are three ward schools
there are not three ward schools. Ordinarily, if you look critical to this matter, these are machineries using to distract the first process.
Okay.
The second and the third faction are machineries using to distract the first process, the normal process. Now, the first faction are the real schools. But the only thing is that, let me say it clearly, somebody is using them.
The first faction?
Yes. Somebody is using, but I don't know who is using them. Somebody is using them to destroy the image of Ganduje. But Ganduje himself did not do the right thing he is supposed to do. When you see the flash of this kind of issue, what you do is to come back home. You come back home, you take a breath, and call your people. Please, I want to see my ward schools. These are my ward schools. You say, you people suspended me. Okay, now that I want to leave office, maybe I want to give each one of you 500,000 naira as a take home. Let me leave office. You people want me to leave, Abi? I'm leaving office. Just for example. And they will now come and say, this man has a good mind. Okay, what do we do? You understand? He will start negotiation. He would have used
persuasive approach.
An approach that would have led to resolving this matter without even these people going to even go on air again for the second time, and without bringing a third party. That third party is what
is
escalating now. You understand? So he should. Now the matter has gone to court. It has taken another step again. He didn't take the first advice. So the advice I'll give to him now is that he should go back to his ward. Call his ward schools. Call the leaders of his ward. Even if those guys are not around, he should get their phone numbers and start begging them. I know somebody is using them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I also feel, when Honorable said that the silence of the president is concerning. I would refer you to read about how this former governor of Lagos State how Ambode left. The day Ambode went to pick his form, he went to meet Tinubu, and Tinubu endorsed him, let him go. Then, when Ambode knew that the game was over, was when he heard that this was Sanwo-Olu had picked form, and Sanwo-Olu went there alongside the local government party chairman and all to pick his form, and he immediately started calling Tinubu. That time Tinubu didn't take calls. So most times, you know, the man you're working with is someone you can't see coming. Yes. So his silence might not be just silent, might be speaking so much.
Might be accent.
Yes, it might be accent in that way. So who knows?
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Chochewale, for coming on Open Conversation this morning. It was a pleasure, as always. And thank you, Ugochukwu Oputa, for coming. It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. Do follow us and stay connected on all our socials. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia Choma. Do not go away. Transition News comes up next.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. There are POS operators. She said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
you human trafficker.
Honourable
You understand.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but